Today, we settled the debate. Which Magic Kingdom attractions you can skip and which you can't miss. There's no way this is C tier. No way. Oh my goodness.
Probably a lower C ticket.
Oh my goodness.
Another attraction I'm putting at that same level, and I think this is where I'll probably get some disagreements, is Peter Pan's flight. You are getting very angry about this.
I'm very passionate about this one. Welcome to the Enchanted Ears podcast,
where we discuss anything and everything Disney.
I'm Angela.
And I'm Joe, and on today's episode, we are tackling maybe the biggest thing we've ever done. We are ranking...
An elephant?
No, not tackling an elephant.
Like, very nicely, because, like, I'm pretty sure they're on the endangered species list, and elephants are adorable, and obviously we are a lot smaller than an elephant.
If I tried to move an elephant, it is not going an inch. I'm just going to tell you that. It is not moving at all unless it wants to move.
You know what? You move an elephant an inch, it takes a mile. That's what I've heard. Isn't that?
I don't even think that makes sense. Anyway, we are tackling the biggest list we've ever done here. We are ranking every single attraction in the Magic Kingdom because we have now officially ridden every single attraction in the Magic Kingdom. So a few weeks ago, probably a couple months ago now, we were at Disney World and we were at Magic Kingdom and we tried to ride every single attraction in one day. We did the Premier Pass to kind of see if that was worth it or not. We did a whole episode on it if you want to check that out. So between what we got through that day, because we rode a lot of stuff we had never ridden before, and just having been to the Magic Kingdom enough, we've ridden every single attraction. So we figured, let's go through and rank all of them.
I was going to say, we rode, I think, everything that the park had available that day, pretty much.
Yeah, I think there's a couple things.
Big Thunder was closed, but yeah, there were, for the most part, we got almost everything. But yeah, it was a crazy experience. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I'm very excited to talk about this because some of these are surprising to me. Like, I was very surprised by the rankings of this list.
All right, so let's get into our main topic here, ranking every Magic Kingdom attraction. Now, because Tom Sawyer Island and the Liberty Bell are now officially closed, we are not including them in this list. There are over 30 attractions based on the map. If you look at like the Magic Kingdom map itself, that counts meet and greets as well. So like meet Mickey, meet Mirabelle, like that sort of thing. We're not including the meet and greets in there. Like we're really focusing on just attractions. And I feel like it's the meet and greets are so subjective. Like if you don't like the character, you may not like the meet and greet. It's very hard to rank those.
This is minus Enchanted Tales with Belle, and that is because that is a more permanent structure. Like it is, like it has its own building, it has a whole experience that goes with it. So we did include that one, as opposed to like some of the just walk up, you go,
and that's more of an actual attraction. Like there's more of a story. There's multiple kind of rooms you're going through,
right?
And I feel like too with the meet and greets, like they change very frequently, so and like the timing isn't always there. So
even the princess one, which is again more of a fixed one, the princesses rotate out and you don't know exactly who it is you're going to get.
Yeah,
I think that they're relatively consistent,
right?
But still,
and again, the thing is just it's so hit or miss. Like if you don't like that princess, you're gonna be like, oh, I really didn't care for it, versus like a character that you do like or something.
Or if it's somebody that you're used to seeing. Like I feel like we've seen Rapunzel a lot lately, so whenever we went to the Tiana meet and greet and Rapunzel was there, I was kind of like, oh, I wish it was Mulan or somebody else instead.
Right. So we're gonna go through and do a tier ranking on these, and we're gonna go back to the old ticket days of Disney. So when Disney officially opened, they had kind of the ticket books. And they had they ranked the attractions from A to D, and then they added an E tier, E-ticket attraction, which is where the term comes from today. So like if you've heard the term E-ticket attraction and you're wondering like what does that mean? Why is it E tier? That's because that's how the ticket books were. Like you used to have to pay per ride, and so A attractions were the smallest and least popular, so they were the cheapest. E-ticket attractions were the most technologically advanced, the super popular ones, so you had to pay the most to ride those. So we are ranking all of these attractions based on our thoughts on where they would fall in that A to E tier.
So the opposite of like letter grading system, essentially. Like
Correct.
The best one is E.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe you could tell your parents that, like, you know, about your report card. You're like, oh, I got an E, which means that I'm like a really high level attraction.
Yeah. I'm going by the Disney ranking system. So, all right. So let's kick it off in Tomorrowland, starting with Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor. I have this one kind of middle of the pack, C tier is where I'm putting this. Like, I think it's a solid attraction. This is one of the ones that we went on last time we were there. It is not the first time we've been on Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor, but it's been a while. It's not one we do. And I was like pleasantly surprised of how much fun it was. It was one I was like, oh, I kind of sleep on this. I need to, you know, maybe go on this more often. It was a lot of fun. The whole like hello humans like thing that they kind of do.
Oh, I do like that part.
So it was good. So I think kind of like middle of the pack. I think it's C. I think it's a solid attraction. I do think probably skip it more than I should.
Yeah, I ranked this as a B attraction. I think I had a similar, like an opposite almost reaction of you as I was like, oh, we skip this one a lot of the time. I'm so excited to do it. And it's not as fun as I remember it being. So yeah, I knocked it back a little bit because of that.
Yeah. All right. The next one is Astro Orbiter. And what's interesting about Astro Orbiter is there are multiple of these spinning rides. So you have Astro Orbiter, you have Dumbo, you have Magic Carpets of Aladdin. And I feel like for the most part, and we'll get to them later, but they are all basically A's. Like they are all, again, unless you have kids, this is, again, going off of my ranking and us, they're all very skippable. Like, you just get on them, you spin around. I feel like when we rode Dumbo and Aladdin, like, the levers, like, you pull up or down, and it doesn't do anything until, like, a minute later. I will say, Astro Orbiter, I think, is slightly better than the other one, so I'm putting it at B tier, simply on the fact that it is 60, 70 feet in the air, and so it is somewhat thrilling and exciting being that high in the air and having that view of Magic Kingdom. But at the end of the day, it's still kind of just this normal spinner ride. So I'm going to make it B tier, just slightly above the other ones.
All right. So we are not at a high thrill park. Walt Disney World is not a high thrill park. So I think that you are underestimating a lot of these. I think that you're right. There's 3 rides that are pretty much identical. I think that because of that, they have to be ranked really similarly. Of the 3, Dumbo is the worst one. And the reason why Dumbo is the worst one, some of the reasons why you say, so I put that at B. Astro Orbiter and the Magic Carpets of Aladdin, though, I put as C tier. And the reason why is because, one, they're very popular rides. A lot of people do ride them. Like Dumbo, there's 2 of them. Now, I know I put Dumbo at B tier, but there's 2 of them. It's a popular ride mechanic. But Aladdin spits water at you in Disney World. It's hot in Disney World. That upgrades it. And Astro Orbiter has a beautiful view of the castle. Yes. So it's a C tier because of that.
There's no way Magic Carpets of Aladdin and Astro Orbiter is on the same level. I'm sorry. Astro Orbiter, I agree. Astro Orbiter is definitely better. The fact that you spray with water.
I had so much fun last time when we rode Magic Carpets of Aladdin getting you wet, because I was like, oh man, I'm gonna make the camel spit at Joe. And then I felt bad at the last minute and tried to change course, but you got spit on. Yeah. And it was so much fun. So that's an extra added level. That bumps it up a tier. I disagree.
All right. I agree though. Astro Orbiter is, I think, a tier above the other ones. All right, moving on. Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. I had this one at a B tier. I think it's fun. I think like the mechanics of it, can be fun. I do like the fact that you can kind of spin around. But I don't know. For me, I mean, I kind of put it, on like the same level as like Astro Orbiter. Like, I don't know. I think it's B tier.
Okay. So if you're putting on the same level as Astro Orbiter, I did too. So for me, it's a C tier. It's a fun, interactive ride, and I look forward to riding that one. So that is a C tier for me. It is not, and honestly, like, I don't like to skip it. Like, it's a ride that, I'm going to want to ride that or Toy Story Mania every time.
All right, moving on, People Mover. Now, this one was tough because I had to kind of like think objectively about the ride. I very much enjoy the People Mover, but this is where it kind of like, it's tough ranking these to a certain extent because, some of this is like our personal opinion of like how much we like the ride and what we think of the ride. But some of it is too like looking objectively of like, okay, how advanced is this? How exciting is this? The People Mover, I'm like a B to a C. I initially said B, and I think I'm kind of like leaning that way. And again, just based on like, as I went through these where other attractions kind of fell, but there's not anything that advanced or super thrilling about the People Mover. I do like it personally, so I think like in my overall ranking, you know, I have it higher than maybe like what the B tier suggests. But I think like if you're telling somebody, hey, in terms of like ranking of attractions going into the Magic Kingdom, I think a B tier is kind of reasonable for it.
Yeah, that's where I have it as well. Again, great views. You get to see some of the behind the scenes ride mechanics as well, which is why it's not an A tier for me.
All right, Carousel of Progress, C tier. Again, I love this attraction. I mean, I could make the argument it is an E tier attraction, but I know that that's like crazy talk to kind of put it up there with like, you know, e-ticket attractions here. So I think it's C. I think it is middle of the pack in terms of kind of just, you know, Disney history, in terms of how technological it is. It has animatronics. So I think like, you know, you look at People Mover, there's not animatronics.
All
so
right.
I'm putting it a little bit higher than that. I'm putting it C tier.
I'm going to let you finish, but there's no way this is C tier. No way. Now, I will not, despite my feelings on it, put it in an A tier because there's history.
It's definitely not A.
There's history there. It is a solid B tier. It is not above. C to me is like, this is the middle of the line ride. You know, this is if you have time, this is a really great time. Sorry, that is not Carousel of Progress.
Oh, it is Carousel of Progress.
It is not. The only time Carousel of Progress is a good time is if you are tired and want to sleep.
No, you literally just gave the definition of Carousel of Progress. If you have time, it's a lot of fun. That is the literal definition of Carousel of Progress. I try to ride it every time I'm there. I will say, though, if I'm busy, don't have time, it is one I will skip. So I think it fits the perfect definition that you have of a C-ticket attraction. If you have time, go ahead and ride it.
B.
Okay. All right, now we're getting to some of like the bigger attractions, the heavy hitters. So moving on to Space Mountain. Oddly enough, I don't have this one as an E-ticket attraction. I have this slightly lower as a D-ticket attraction.
Me too.
And I think just, again, kind of overall looking at some of the other ones, like you look at Tron next to it. So kind of doing both these together. Tron is clearly an E-ticket attraction. It is high speed, it's thrilling, it's technologically advanced, it has a unique ride system to it in terms of like riding on the motorcycles. I feel like Space Mountain is great. I feel like it's hurt by the fact that it is just completely in the dark and there's not as much theming, or it needs like an animatronic or just kind of like a better, clearer storyline while you're riding the actual roller coaster. So I think for me, that's why it's just slightly lower than some of the other roller coasters that are e-ticket attractions. And I have that as a D-ticket.
Yeah, me too. And then I also have Tron as an e-ticket, obviously. It is, I think, my favorite ride overall. In all of the parks, just because I think that the ride mechanics of it are so much fun. I have the best ride photo I've ever taken in from Tron.
That was a pretty great photo.
I mean, incredible. I need to like post it again as like part of like the Superman. Like Superman just came out because that's 100% what I did is the Superman pose, the flying pose. But like it is such a fun ride. I know it's short, but it feels like you're going so much faster than you are. It feels dangerous, but also like not, and it's dark, but then you get to go outside and like everyone watches you. I don't know. There's just something about that ride. There's like a special magic to it. So it is definitely an e-ticket.
All right. Rounding out Tomorrowland with Tomorrowland Speedway. This is definitely.
Can I just go with this one?
Yeah, it's lower tier for sure.
This is an A tier. This ride is a ride that exists outside of Walt Disney World. Our local theme park has basically the exact same ride. It's very old, very outdated. I think that it is also up for if Disney needs to replace a ride and wants to put in and needs some space. Tomorrowland Speedway would probably be like my number one choice of all of the rides to be ripped out and replaced with something new.
Wow. So I just want to go back real quick though. You said Dumbo was a B.
Yes. 100%.
It's a B. And Magic Carpets of Aladdin is a B tier.
There's at least theming that makes it Disney.
So you're putting it higher. You're putting those higher than Tomorrowland Speedway.
100%.
See, I don't think they can be higher than Tomorrowland
Speedway
because I do think Tomorrowland Speedway at least has I feel like it's
fun.
It's a longer attraction. I feel like there is some risk of, I don't want to say death, but there is some thrill in there in the fact that, like,
I mean, you're controlling it.
Well, but what I'm saying is you control it, but not that well, and so you're kind of like crashing, bouncing back and forth. So there's a sense of excitement and acceleration.
My perspective on this is the Dumbo ride, and those type of rides, and Tomorrowland Speedway. Both of them are just basic theme park rides that exist in other places. However, what brings the other ones up is they are at least Disney themed. Tomorrowland Speedway has nothing that is remotely Disney themed. So because it is kind of a basic ride, it gets down.
Tomorrowland's the theme. Yeah,
Tomorrowland because we don't have cars. I mean, if they were hovercrafts, maybe I'd give it to them. But no,
Wow.
It is an A.
Wow, you are getting very angry
I'm
about this.
I'm very passionate about this one. And it burns gasoline. Like, let's come up with an alternative fuel source here. I get it that, like, I think that there's like an actual rationale. I can't remember what it is that, like, Walt wanted this in there. Like, I feel like there was some sort of letting the kids drive or something that it's special, but again, it's a basic theme park ride.
I have it at B tier. I disagree. Okay, all right, moving on.
Well, you're wrong. It's okay. You're entitled to being wrong.
Moving on to Fantasyland. So this is the biggest land, has the most attractions. We already talked about Dumbo. I have it, again, as an A tier.
It's B.
You have it at B. I have it below Tomorrowland Speedway, and I have it below the Astro Orbiter, but we disagree on that. All right, moving on to Mad Tea Party. So this is the teacups. I think this one is a B tier. I think I initially had this one at a B, but I think if I'm looking at this if I have Dumbo at an A, I kind of feel like it's at the same level of Dumbo.
Maybe we need to not go to the parks together.
I'm gonna move this down to an A ticket.
We might be incompatible park goers.
What do you have this at?
It's a C tier.
C? You have a C ticket.
It's an average. Again, C to me is average ride. It is an average ride. It is above an A and a B tier because, unlike Dumbo, which is a B ticket, there is a little bit more of an element of control. There's a little bit, I think, higher theming. You have the Alice in Wonderland theme. I would disagree. Twist.
The theming on Dumbo.
It's the teacups. It's like the most.
It's higher.
It's one of the most like famous
rides.
But
with Dumbo, you go through like the big top and everything. I think the theming on Dumbo is better than the theming on Mad Tea Party.
I don't know. I think, I will say this one may benefit slightly. I might have ranked it above Dumbo because we never ride this ride, and it
is more thrilling,
and
too.
We rode it, and whenever we did all those attractions, and I was shocked by how much fun it was and how it didn't make me like. Neither of us walked off and were sick. I thought for sure that we might be a little ill from riding it, but I was twisting it and like having so much fun controlling like how much we were spinning. And I thought it was a blast. So I upgraded it to like a C tier because it's like, hey, no matter who you are, but especially I could see, like, I'm a big kid. So if you're a big kid or a kid and you're like, hey, I like want to have some control in my life, geez, go on that ride and you get to spin around and your whole family's like, maybe you can make them sick or not. Like, it's just so much fun. It's a C ticket.
All right, you've convinced me it's better than Dumbo, so I'll move it back up to a B ticket.
All right, whatever. Still low, but I will take it.
All right, Journey of the Little Mermaid. For me, this one's C ticket. This is middle of the road here. It is higher than these other ones. Again, I don't know how you could say the Mad Tea Party and this are on the same level because this has animatronics.
But it's passive.
This has music to it. This is just a higher level attraction. I don't think it is at the same level as Space Mountain, what I had as a D ticket. So that's why for me, Journey of the Little Mermaid, C ticket attraction.
I agree.
All right, Barnstormer. So this is the roller coaster back in Fantasyland, more geared towards children. So this is Goofy. I have this one a C ticket because again, it's a It's a roller coaster. It actually was a lot of fun. It was the first time we had ridden it when we went a couple months ago. It's quick, but I was kind of surprised. I mean, it's got some thrills to it. More than I was expecting, again, being kind of like a smaller roller coaster, more geared towards kids. It's got some good theming. It kind of fits in with that, like circus themed at kind of the back half of Fantasyland there. Again, I don't think going lower than a C makes a lot of sense.
So I put it at a B.
I don't think going higher, like I don't think it's a D or an E ticket attraction, so C ticket attraction for me. So you have it as a B. Okay.
I have it as a B ticket just because I thought that as far as thrilling is concerned, it was almost about the amount of the people mover. Like you're.
Oh no, it's more than that. It's got some speed to it.
I will say, like I was unimpressed, and so I think that maybe I was a little harsh on it, putting it at a B ticket instead of a C, but I just, this is a ride for me that I could never ride again and be fine. So, I mean, it's lucky almost I didn't put it at an A ticket, but so I think I kind of went in between maybe where it should be and too low. So B, I feel like is like a nice happy medium. That's your sweet spot.
Me. Okay, for you. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so the next one is Smelly Fence on Parade, which is technically listed as an attraction on the map. This is basically like by Scentsy and just going around and identifying different scents. There's just like different elephants back there. For me, I'm trying to figure out what's below an A ticket attraction. Because this thing is so skippable that there were people sitting in front of the elephants completely unaware that they were actually technically experiencing an attraction at the Magic Kingdom. That's how skippable this is that people use this attraction as a rest area.
Yeah, I have this as an A because it was listed as an attraction.
An A is disrespectful to the other A ticket attractions.
Listing this as an A is disrespectful to Tomorrowland Speedway.
Yes,
and that tells you well. But since it was listed as an attraction, it had to go somewhere, so I put it as an A. But yeah, you're right. Like, and again, like this smells. I'm sorry, Scentsy, but you need to do better. Like. I understand they were trying to like theme them to things you would smell at the circus.
I think Disney just gave up refilling the scents. I think they were like, nobody knows this exists.
I mean, maybe they were old, so they didn't smell right. I think that the caramel apple one was pretty dead on, but then the rest of them just did not smell correct to me. But then again, some of the things were like that artificial smell because it's like the item itself doesn't have a strong smell. Like lemonade, I feel like does not have, like it has a smell, but in order to make it smellable, I think that you have to like turn it up.
Just make it, lemon.
But like, I love the smell of lemon. Yeah. And when I smelled that, it wasn't clear to me.
Yeah.
The only way that you knew is because the design on the sticker and the design on the elephant were the same, so you could cheat.
I would love to know if there's any cast members out there listening that happen to work at Magic Kingdom or know somebody that works at Magic Kingdom. How many people show up asking, because you get a little like sticker book for it.
Like how many people count a day?
Like how many people
on two hands?
Yeah, how many people come up a day and ask?
Maybe
for
even
this?
one hand.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. I really want to know.
I mean, it is kind of crazy. That is listed as an attraction, but as far as I know, the Pirates of the Caribbean, like there's a thing with that, and it's not listed as an attraction. I have to imagine it's better. Just like, I mean, like, is DuckTales? I wonder if DuckTales is listed over in Epcot.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
But like to list that and not list the Pirates of the Caribbean thing, which again, never done. Maybe it's terrible, but
and that might be because it's on your phone. Like there's a phone component to it,
maybe.
And so that's why like it's not an attraction because it's more of like a virtual thing in an app. So I don't know, but yeah, this is off the board. Like this, don't even list it. All right, so moving on to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. So for me, this is another e-ticket attraction. So I agree. I mean, if I'm kind of nitpicking a little bit, it could probably use a little bit more excitement. It could probably be a little bit longer. But for me, it is better than Space Mountain. You have the animatronics. You have them singing kind of in the gem mine. The queue itself is kind of more interactive than Space Mountain or some of these other attractions. So for me, like this is in the same way Tron is the definition of an e-ticket attraction. I think Mine Train is the definition of an e-ticket attraction as well.
Yeah, I completely agree with this. So the next one is Prince Charming's Regal Carousel. Again, like kind of the same cut that I had against Tomorrowland Speedway. It is a basic ride. So, and
even more so, I feel like, than Tomorrowland Speedway.
Yeah, like even like shopping malls have carousels.
Yeah.
Our friends are on a cruise right now. There's a carousel. Like it is so commonplace, and there's nothing about this specific one that makes it uniquely Disney.
It's not like Disneyland where it has jingles on it.
Yeah,
you know,
or like if you think of over in Tokyo, the
double-decker one.
There's double-decker one, and there's characters on it. Like you can ride on. I believe we rode on the genie.
The
didn't
genies,
we?
Yeah, because it's Aladdin. It's
exactly.
The Aladdin
so there's
area.
no like specific theming, and I get it. Like it's by the castle, so there are horses. Some of those horses are kind of creepy looking though. So this one for me is very clearly an A ticket.
Yeah, I agree. This one's A as well.
The next one is It's a Small World. And I put this one as a C ticket because I think that this ride is, maybe it could have been ranked a little lower, but for me, like this is quintessential Disney. And again, C for me is average. I think that most people are going to ride it. I think it's skippable, but when you go to Disney, I think that it is like something that you should really consider going on and not missing. If you're a person that doesn't get to go very often or is going to make a once in a lifetime trip there, like you should really strongly consider going on It's a Small World. So for me, like that's where that C ticket, like that C tier, like is for me, is like something that you really should go on. And again, like the messaging of it is really strong, and it's like such an infectious song. So yeah, I think that is very clearly C ticket.
Yeah, I'm with you. I have this one as a C ticket as well. I think I probably disagree with you a little bit of like C being skippable. Like I do kind of think as
it's lightly skippable. I agree with you. It's like, again, I'm thinking it like my teacher brain is this is average. It's an average ride, but like average is still good.
I think there's kind of like upper C ticket and lower C ticket, and I feel like, you know, this is kind of more like the upper half of the C ticket attractions, where I would say you should not skip this one. I do think think you could make the argument about some of the other C ticket ones, but I think for me, this one is not skippable, but I don't think it's high enough to put it as a D ticket attraction.
I agree with that. And I mean, I have Astro Orbiter in there as a C ticket as well. And I definitely agree with like the tiering being like there's higher and lower ones. And if you have to ride one of these two, It's a Small World is the clear choice.
Yeah, and I kind of say that as well because the next one is The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, and I have that as a B ticket. And for me, that is skippable. If you don't have time, you could skip, unless you really love Winnie the Pooh.
The gift shop is really cute.
The gift shop's probably going to that versus the ride. It's a fun ride. It actually was better than I kind of remembered it. There's some more movement to the cars than I kind of remembered on it. But again, for me, it is one of these like just very basic dark ride attractions. It's on a set kind of track. And I feel like Disneyland has more of those still because they have like
Mr. Toads.
They have Mr. Toads. They have Snow White. They have their own Winnie the Pooh. They have Alice in Wonderland. Like that was something that like Disneyland kind of originated. But I feel like at Magic Kingdom, most of those are gone now. And Winnie the Pooh is really kind of like the only one left. And I just feel like it just kind of shows that it's not just at the same level as some of these other newer attractions that they've put in there.
I mean, even if you compare it to like Journey of the Little Mermaid, where it's a similar, I feel like it's a similar ride system. That one
Little Mermaid is an omni mover, more like Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
It's different than Winnie the Pooh.
But yeah, I agree with you. I think I have it as a B ticket as well.
Another attraction I'm putting at that same level, and I think this is where I'll probably get some disagreements, is Peter Pan's Flight. And I think I'm knocking this one.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm putting it at B, and I'm saying it's skippable because and part of the reason is I feel like I'm knocking based on the wait time on it. It's not worth the wait time you have to wait for it. So to me, if you go and it's a wait time, I say skip it. And the problem is like it always has a long wait time. So I think that's why I'm knocking it. If there was more fluctuation to it, and you could get on it more reasonably.
Yeah, you get on it first thing in the morning.
Maybe it's a C ticket, but for me, it's a B ticket attraction.
So this is where I become your mother's favorite child, and I put it up at a C ticket because it is better than Winnie the Pooh, and it's a solid ride. I think you should go on it if you can. If the wait is really long, if it is 45 minutes an hour,
but that's the problem. It always is.
But it always is. If you catch it at the right time, it isn't. If you go early, it isn't. And you can hit that in a Small World and some of the rides like in that general vicinity, and you can get all of those ridden in a very short period of time if you go first thing in the morning.
Yeah, basically you have to be there as soon as the park opens to get on it.
I think the magical part of this is the miniatures, and you're usually a big fan of miniatures. It's like the miniature cities and flying above everything and like the whimsy of being in like the ship. The fact that you are suspended from the ceiling instead of from the floor, it's different and it's better than a lot of the other rides. And I'm not even a big fan of Peter Pan, but this ride is really cool. So I think that you just have a chip on your shoulder because you don't want to wait for it. And I agree with that.
Right.
But I think it's a C, it's a C tier. If you cannot miss it, don't miss it. If you can, if the wait's long, you can miss it.
Yeah, you're right. The ride system of it is unique. That's what it has going for it. But overall, I mean, the ride's pretty quick.
It's also like black light. Like, yeah. I don't agree with you. Like, it has a different like ride aesthetic than everything else too. It is kind of in its own league, and
yeah, it is in its own league. It's in its own league in the B ticket level.
No,
it's just
a C.
It's quick. I don't know the story.
We have Astro. Okay, I can't speak for you because your rating system's bonkers, but I have Astro Orbiter, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, Mad Tea Party, Journey of the Little Mermaid, It's a Small World. Peter Pan's Flight goes in there with them. Sorry.
Yeah, to me it's just a little bit lower. So one that I do have at a C ticket though is Mickey's PhilharMagic. Even though this attraction has really nothing to do with Mickey, it's basically all about Donald. But this one is really good. It's a theater. It's the 3D. I like it because it is different. It highlights Donald. It kind of really brings out his personality. You also get to see other like Disney properties and movies through it. It's funny. It's fun. It's in the air conditioning for a while, which is obviously nice. I think the other nice thing is too, they update it. Like they add new scenes to it. And so that helps keep it kind of fresh and kind of helps the re-rideability and repeatability of it. So I think that's why I'm putting it like slightly higher than some of these other ones that, have not been refreshed since the park opened.
Yeah, I agree with you that it is a cool ride. It should probably be an A ticket, but I have it as a B ticket because it is fun. And again, it's about Donald Duck instead of about Mickey Mouse. And there is that like 3D element, but I cannot abide but putting it above a B ticket because you are in front of a screen. You are not actively really participating in any part of it. It is very low level, but to me, I think it's more fun than the A level or the A ticket rides. So
okay.
It's B.
No, that's fair. Rounding out Fantasyland, the one we mentioned, meet and greet, was Enchanted Tales with Belle. I think it's absolutely incredible. I put this as a D ticket. Like, this is definitely, again, the meet and greets can be hit or miss depending on whether you like the characters or not. I think no matter what, I think you have to go and experience Enchanted Tales with Belle.
Right. And if you are a person who wants to participate, don't be embarrassed to say that you want to participate because they seem to make like a very strong effort, especially if you're a kid.
They have a role. They have a role for everybody there. Yeah.
Right. And but especially if you're a kid, I don't know if I hadn't gotten selected as an adult, there would have been like the ability to really participate. But if you want to participate in it, they let you. So I think that it's really cool. If you've never done it before and you want it to be a complete surprise, don't watch any of the videos. If you're like, I don't know if I want to do it, watch the videos online because it just has really cool, like...
Take our word for it.
Yeah.
Just take our word for it. It's good.
Yeah.
Go experience it.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
Yeah, it's well worth it. All right, moving on to Liberty Square.
Okay, the first one in Liberty Square is...
Well, there's only two. Liberty Square is very small now because...
That's true. The Liberty Bell's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hall of Presidents, It's an A ticket. It's closed half the time because there's a new president. Nope. Let me finish. No, it's an A ticket ride.
You can't put this below Dumbo. Not below Dumbo.
It is cool. No, 100% below Dumbo. Oh, 100%. I would ride Dumbo 15 times before I would ride Hall of Presidents once. I do not like Hall of Presidents. The only time that is at all entertaining is when the president has a like unique mannerisms that make them very they're very specific mannerisms that they're able to get, and that's fun to see. But I am sorry, it is boring. I do not like this ride. I do not enjoy going on it. I don't know. I just it's fun to go to one time ever. I will skip it every time.
See, I think it's great.
Ticket, solidly.
I think it's great. I think the Hall of Presidents is great. The whole beginning of it, it has the the video of kind of the history
snooze fest
of America, the history of the presidency. Seeing all of the presidents at the end is a lot of fun. The kind of waiting area that has the presidential seal. It's the only place outside the White House, so you can see the presidential seal on the carpet. They have a lot of artifacts and history about the president. So again, this is where Disney does history and education and kind of makes it interesting and fun and in a place where it's I'm learning something, but not necessarily realizing I'm learning something. So Disney does this very well, and they have a long history of this, with Disneyland, Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. This is kind of their version of it, but with all of the presidents. You're right. The one downside is every time a president changes, it goes down because they have to switch out who the main president is. But I think it's a great attraction. I don't think it's something that you should skip every time you go. I don't think it's something you have to do every time you go. So I have it as a C ticket, but again,
oh my goodness,
probably a lower C ticket.
Oh my goodness,
here where you could skip it.
I could see the argument for a B ticket, and that is I loathe this.
It's C ticket.
I loathe this attraction, but yeah, it is not a C ticket by any means. You can, nope.
No, this is Disney. These type of attractions are something you only get at Disney. To your point, Tomorrowland, Speedway, a carousel, you can get those attractions at other parks. You're not getting Hall of Presidents at another theme park.
Just ship this off to Gettysburg or something. I mean, I understand Walt Disney really loved American history and things like that. I am harsh on this ride. Attraction. It's not a ride. I'm harsh on it because I really just truly do not enjoy it.
Well, I kind of feel like it's probably going away because, again, if you look at Liberty Square, you have this and you have Haunted Mansion, which we're going to get to in a second. And I'm pretty sure Haunted Mansion is going to get absorbed by Villains Land once Villains Land opens. So there's going to be nothing left in Liberty Square. I would not be surprised if this goes away.
Yeah, I could see them getting rid of it just because they're going to have to continually, at least every 8 years, make a new animatronic.
I just think Liberty Square is gone. If that's the only thing in Liberty Square, if Haunted Mansion gets absorbed by Villains, what's the point of having a Liberty Square anymore? That's just, I could see Cars Land kind of spilling into Liberty Square. But I can see a lot of
people, just like I say, it's not something that I don't particularly love that, but I think that people are going to make the argument that is quintessential Disney.
If you make that a Villains attraction, if you make Villains Land bigger and that becomes a walkway to Villains Land or something, nobody's going to care. I feel like Liberty Square, its days are numbered. I think in the next 10 years, Liberty Square is gone.
How long has Hall of Presidents been open?
I don't know if it's opening day or I think pretty close to opening day though. So.
Yeah, checking Walt Disney's website, it is an opening day attraction.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was I didn't know if it was technically on opening day or around that. So the other attraction over at Liberty Square is Haunted Mansion, and I think this one is an e-ticket attraction. So this is not a roller coaster, not I think what people typically think of as e-ticket attractions, but Haunted Mansion with the storyline and the theming and the fact that it's not something you would typically think about with Disney kind of being about ghosts and death and that sort of stuff. There's just something about it that, again, I don't think you can miss this. I don't think you should skip this. I think every time you go to Disney World, you should ride the Haunted Mansion. And so for me, it is at the same caliber as these other roller coasters, high speed thrill rides, even though it doesn't have those, it has so much else going for it that it is at that same level that if I'm ranking them of like, okay, what's the best attraction here? Haunted Mansion is at that level.
Okay. I'm going to play the devil's advocate here.
Okay.
There has to be a contingent of people that says, I don't drink the Disney Kool-Aid. Haunted Mansion's not that good.
Well, they're going to rank it differently. Again, this is our ranking of it. This is our ranking.
There has to be a contingent of those people because I drink the Disney Kool-Aid. I don't know that I would have, like when we first went, I was like, oh, this is the greatest ride ever. But I like love it. I actually did have it listed as an E-ticket. And while we were sitting here, I downgraded it to a D ticket.
Okay.
And the reason why is because I think like, again, as a super Disney fan, I think of it as like, yeah, a must ride. We always ride it. So much fun. Really cool ride. Great song. Awesome. But I do think that it is not high thrill. I do think that it has some cool technology, but again, it is an Omni mover. I mean, it's not really that fancy. And if you did not ride it one time when you went, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Like it's a great ride. Love it. I rank it high in my overall, but I there's a part
just
of
slightly
me,
under E.
There's
just
a part,
slightly under.
Yeah, there's other things in my D tickets that I'm like, these are probably like in line with Haunted Mansion, and so I don't want to drop it below a D ticket. But yeah, it's not an E ticket.
All right. A D ticket attraction I have is Country Bears Jamboree. So we're moving over to Frontierland. So again, this is where like, hey, if I say Country Bears is a D ticket, I can't say Haunted Mansion is the same level as Country Bears.
Now let me just jump in right here. I have Country Bears as a D, and I actually think that this is accurate because
you think it's the same level as Haunted Mansion?
I do think it is. And like I was a Country Bears hater for so long. I love the update.
I'll say this is the new version of it with the Disney songs.
I love this new
version
yeah. with the Disney, like the Disney songs, and I feel like it's a little bit more relatable. I feel like the jokes hit just a little bit better now. I think that this is something that like I look forward to riding now. Like I look forward to riding the Haunted Mansion. I look forward to riding it. I think the characters are pretty iconic. Like I like the jokes, and that's some of the same arguments I make for the Haunted Mansion. I think the characters are iconic.
Well,
I like the jokes and the gags.
I'll say this though, and this is kind of making my argument for why Haunted Mansion is E-ticket. Country Bears Jamboree needed an update and a refresh to move it up to the level it needed to be. And a lot of the ones we're talking about too that are lower tier they are original park attractions or they are older attractions and they've not been updated, so they just don't hit the same way they did when they were new. And Disney has a history of this in the ticketing system. Everything that was a D kind of shifted down to a C when the E-ticket attraction came up. And so there is kind of this history of this. But if you look at Haunted Mansion's not been updated. I don't think Haunted Mansion does need updated. And it still is extremely popular.
Hatbox Ghost.
It's still extremely good. You didn't need that, though.
I think that it ruins a little bit.
Yeah, you didn't need the Hatbox Ghost in there. So I think that just goes to show you why it is above some of these other attractions, because it still holds up in a way that a lot of these other older attractions do not hold up.
So I think you mentioned rides that were upgraded because of a refresh and an update. And I think just like Country Bears for me was upgraded, I think that Tiana's Bayou Adventure was upgraded because of it like being a refresh. With now we don't have the broken down Splash Mountain animatronics. The one thing I do really miss about Splash Mountain is the thorns, like going down into the thorns. I did really appreciate that, because whenever you look over the edge of that waterfall and you see all the thorns ahead of you, there's a certain dread that fills you. I do feel like though, seeing as some of the people get off the ride super soaked, and then like we got lucky, we weren't.
Yeah, we didn't get wet at all. Yeah,
we were a little wet, but not bad. I think the dread comes from not the thorns, but am I going to get soaked?
So, yeah, the water.
Yeah, and then again, like when you're soaked like that in the heat, it's usually great, but because Florida is so humid, you don't dry out quite like very well. So yeah, but I think that this is a D ticket.
Okay.
I think it is a fun ride. I like seeing the animatronics. They are cool animatronics. I love the new type of animatronic that isn't the Frozen Ever After, like the faces that are screens, and like
Tiana
looks
newer,
really excellent. Her like face moves like nicely. She's not freaky looking. So I do really appreciate it. The one thing I think that I don't love about the ride is I think that the story is still not like clear enough.
Yeah, I think that's the problem, is that they tried to have it be
an extension
of the movie versus what they've done with other attractions like Journey of the Little Mermaid, like Frozen Ever After, is just retell the story. And I think that would have been better if they retold the movie and played the songs from the movie, because I think like having Dr. Facilier take you to the other side and have that be the main drop at the end would have been so much more impactful than what happened.
And you can't have Raymond because he's gone. Like, so there's certain characters that you're missing out on because they chose to do something different. And I know they really played up these new characters that they made. They're very minimal.
Yeah, it's kind of unclear, easy to follow. So you said you had a D?
I do have it as a D.
I have it as a C.
And I don't begrudge that. I think that it is somewhere in there.
I think what's interesting, though, so I kind of have it middle of the road, is that Disney redid this.
It's still not that great.
It's still kind of like middle of the road. Where
I think that they did Tiana dirty. It could be better.
I just don't think it hit as well as it should have.
Well, I mean, like, you weren't a big fan like of watching the movie. Then when we listened to the soundtrack later on, when we did the soundtrack's great, and it's lacking that. Like, and so it's like if
that's what I'm saying. It should have just been the movie with the characters with the songs and I think it would have been a much better attraction. I'm with you though. The animatronics are great. I think kind of the refresh is great. I will be honest, I wasn't like, there's a lot of people out there that love Splash Mountain that were like, I'm a Splash Mountain, fan for life. I didn't really care either way, whether it was Splash Mountain or not. So, for me, I just kind of looked at it, very like, okay, hey, this is Tiana now. Like, what's the attraction? It's decent. I felt Splash Mountain was decent too. Like, to me, they're kind of the same ride at the end of the day.
They're similar. Yeah. But this one's at least works. Like, this one works.
Splash Mountain worked. I mean,
you have like the dead rabbit hopping and stuff.
Yeah. The very expensive animatronic rabbit that rarely worked. But I think there's probably some issues with the.
Yeah.
I mean, let's give it a couple years and we'll see how well these Tiana animatronics hold up. It's hard when you have electronics in water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 100%. It's not easy. So Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, which is currently under refurbishment, but is still an attraction over there. I think that is an e-ticket attraction.
What?
Yeah, again, I mean, it's well themed, it's high speed, it's a roller coaster, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy going on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad every time we're there. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're doing with the refresh here. They basically have torn out all of the track and are completely redoing the track, so hopefully we get a little bit smoother of an experience. I hope they bring some of that like projection mapping to the third hill.
If they do not make this more like Disneyland, that is one ride.
I think they will.
That is one ride where Disneyland's version I think is far and away better. A better experience. But this is a D ticket. It is not an E ticket. It does not go in the same breath as Tron. It is or even like Mine Train for me. Mine Train is a lower, like, it's not as impactful, like it's not as high speed, but the theming, the hi-ho song and everything like that, even like the different mechanic of the swaying cars, I think that upgrades it to that E ticket. And this is again, it doesn't have to be like Disney IP, which it's not. It's like an original ride, but it's still lacking a little bit. Maybe once they upgrade it and if they make it more like Disneyland, maybe it'll belong up there. But
we're not too far off though. I mean, D and E are close. It's not like you're like, oh, this is a B or something crazy.
Right. I think that putting a coaster that low, unless it's Barnstormer, would be a little bit of a...
I think so.
Yeah.
Last thing, Frontierland is the railroad, which I know there's stops kind of all around the park, but just kind of including it in Frontierland here. For me, the Disney World Railroad, as much as I love riding on the trains at Disney, there's not really a lot going on to that one. Like at Disneyland, you have the dinosaurs at the end, like they have that like Prime Evil experience in it at the end, which
are those dinosaurs the ones that were from like the World Fair?
Yes.
Okay.
And then Tokyo Disneyland has dinosaurs as well. Disney World doesn't have any of that. Like, you do go through Tiana's Bayou Adventure, so you do get a little bit of a look at that. I also feel like this is one where you're mentioning like it's closed a lot. Like, I feel like the past few years it has been kind of hit or miss if it's open, because when they're doing construction on the attractions, they have to close it. And then I think they were repairing it because it was open for only like a few hours a day when we were there in May. Like, it was open, but if you went later, it wasn't. Now it's riding in like shuttle mode because they're working on the rivers of America and stuff. So it's kind of hit or miss. This one really is like, it's more for transportation to get around the parks. There's not as much, again, going on like it is at Disneyland. So for me, it's a B ticket attraction. I don't want to put it as an A because I do think it is fun to kind of ride a train. I mean, it's an actual working train that you get to
come on, ride the train.
That you get to choo that you get to go on. But yeah, for me, I don't want to go any higher than a B ticket here.
Yeah, that's where I have it as well. And I mean, it maybe you can. I'll make the argument that it's on the same level as the People Mover, and that People Mover is more fun, but the train is a legitimate transportation, like mode of transportation. So
and
you can get from one park to
and
park
I have them
to
both
another.
at a B ticket.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Similar rides, but People Mover doesn't get you anywhere, but it's more fun.
All right, so we're going to finish this out with Adventureland.
So the first ride on this one, or first attraction, it's not a ride, is the Enchanted Tiki Room, which is a must-do. It is not an e-ticket, so I have it as a D ticket.
Okay.
It is. So this one has like a certain, and I think that this is pretty accurate. Like, whenever I was looking at, we were talking about, I re-ranked Haunted Mansion from an e-ticket. I was thinking, is Tiki Room and Haunted Mansion on a similar, like, are they on a similar wavelength? And I think the answer here is yes. They are historical, and that they are like pretty original to the park. They are both rides that I love. They are both rides with a soundtrack that will get stuck in your head all day. And the Tiki Room has that special mystique again of like, I don't know, whenever it was first built, people thought that Walt Disney. I just broke
right there.
Yeah, I just broke. But no, like, people thought that Walt Disney like shipped in birds. Like, they were so confused because again, the internet didn't exist, so they're looking up these birds almost like, are these real? Like, they're so gorgeous. And I think that there's part of that when you walk in there, it's part of the suspension of disbelief. If you're an adult, the kids are great at this. If you're an adult that's able to do this, if you're a Disney adult, you're able to do this, where you walk into an attraction like that and you can kind of put yourself historically back in that time period and say, oh my God, look at these real birds that are singing these songs to me. And like these plants and these tikis, like it's just such a great ride. I think that it is a must do every time that you go. I'm kind of sad that we've been missing, what is it? I always forget their names. Claude and what's the other one?
Clive
and Claude. The last
Birdbrain.
couple times we've gone, like, Claude and Clive
they're done with their pre-show.
Have done the pre-show. I love that part, but I'm not going to stick around and watch them, but and wait for the next one. But it is just such a great ride, like just such a great attraction where you just, I don't know, like, it just feels so, it feels like home.
Yeah. I'm gonna agree with you. I have that as a D ticket. Mm-hmm. To me, it is not as good as Haunted Mansion. And so again, I have Haunted Mansion as an E ticket. Mm-hmm. So I have this one slightly below as a D ticket.
I think it's like trying to pick your favorite kid.
Yeah, I mean,
I think I love them both.
I think for everything you said, I mean, it's great. The song is so catchy. I think probably the song is catchier than the Haunted Mansion song.
Like, yeah, all of I mean, there's a couple songs that are great. The Tiki Tiki, but then there's even like the ones where they're like chanting and it's like, oh, ooh, ah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think the music, I think the music is catchier and gets stuck in your head more than the Haunted Mansion. I think this one is, again, maybe why it's a little bit lower than the Haunted Mansion for me. It is you're just kind of sitting. I like the Haunted Mansion where you're kind of going through the different scenes.
There is no movement.
There's kind of more, there's like different animatronics in there. Like you have Madame Leota's head floating around in Haunted Mansion, whereas like the Tiki Room, like you can kind of hear those birds because they're like the old animatronics. Like you can hear them moving very mechanically, which is part of the charm
I was
of
say
it.
That it to me is, it's part of the charm.
But again,
like, they're so old, and I actually don't ever want them to like update them.
Yeah, and I don't think they are. But again, just my point of like why to me, Haunted Mansion is a little bit higher than Tiki Room. But I love it. So definitely putting that as a D ticket attraction. The other one in Adventureland that I have as a D ticket is Pirates of the Caribbean. So Pirates of the Caribbean, and I kind of like the Walt Disney World version. I know a lot of people love the Disneyland version better because it's longer, but I feel like the added scenes are just kind of like going through a cave, which really isn't like, there's no pirates in that. It's just kind of like an extended like pre-show till you get into the pirates. But the fact that like Pirates has so many animatronics, it has all of those sight gags, it has a catchy song to it. You have the drop in it, so there is some excitement. It's kind of like a classic Disney flume ride. All those things have going for it. Like Pirates of the Caribbean is a great attraction. It's a D ticket attraction. I don't think you should skip it in any way. I think it is better than average. It is something that, you get from Disney. There's a reason why everybody came to Walt Disney World and said, "Where's the Pirates ride? We want Pirates," because they didn't build it, and they forced Disney to build Pirates of the Caribbean in Walt Disney World because it is so popular of an attraction. So for all those reasons, I'm putting it as a D ticket.
I disagree.
Okay.
I think that this one, for me, what I said about the Haunted Mansion applies to Pirates of the Caribbean, where I am not one who drinks the Pirates of the Caribbean water. I
hope you don't drink the Pirates of the Caribbean water. Please, nobody should be drinking the Pirates of the Caribbean water.
So gross. I don't drink the Pirates of the Caribbean Kool-Aid. Like, I think it is a cool ride. Cool. For cool, a C ticket. It is not one I have to ride every time. I think you should ride it if you can. I think it's a fun ride. I think the Disneyland version is superior. And the reason for that, I think the historical background of it is so interesting. I think that's probably why I put it as high as I do, is just knowing that they thought that they wouldn't want it in Florida because they are close to the Caribbean and they've had experiences like the pirates, like it's closer to them. And so they had to find a spot for it. And so they had to shorten the ride. I think that Disneyland, like the caves and things, that adds to the beginning of the story, which is kind of skipped over a little bit in the Disney World version, where you are sort of almost you're traveling back in time. So in Disneyland, it's more clear that you are doing that. You're going to where they're gone. The pirates are gone. They're dead. There's a skeleton, but then you go to the other side and you can see it like comes to life. Some of the props in the Disneyland version are help to bring the story alive a lot more. Over in Walt Disney World, that part is cut out. I think that it's a good ride and I like it. But
solid. It's solid, but just doesn't stand out.
Solid, but yeah, for me, and the reason why I like it as much as I do is because of the movies.
Yeah.
If the movies did not exist, I'd probably have it lower.
And for me, that's kind of the same feeling I have with Jungle Cruise. I feel like it's solid, but I don't.
The movies really help upgrade it for you.
No, not the movie. Not the movie. Talking about the attraction, but yeah, it's solid, but I am not as diehard a fan of the Jungle Cruise attraction like a lot of people are. I mean, like, Josh Gad was like a skipper on it on social media. And like, there's a lot of people that are like, I would love to be a Jungle Cruise skipper, or they started as a Jungle Cruise skipper. And it's like, for me, it's an okay attraction, but the fact that it does kind of vary depending on the skipper you get. I feel like a lot of the jokes are the same. Now, the last time we went, we had a skipper who
she was great.
She did some jokes I've not heard before. You could tell she really enjoyed it and was kind of doing some different stuff.
And also we were seated in the front. It was easier to hear. Sometimes that's a problem too, is if like the crowd, like there's a little bit of chatter. I have a hard time with like the background noise. If we're seated in the back, not near the speakers, it's hard to hear. Also it's dependent on who else is on the boat with you, because if nobody laughs at the gags, it's kind of like you have that pressure to be the one to laugh, and then you can't enjoy it as much.
Yeah, and you've heard the jokes before. So to me, it's an uneven experience. And so that kind of hurts it for me in terms of my ranking. So I don't want to say it's a B ticket attraction, because I don't think it is in any way in the same level as, some of the, other ones we've talked about, of like the Dumbos or Tomorrowland Speedways or things like that, where they are very kind of basic rides. I mean, it definitely has that Disney feel to it. There is, some special unique aspects to it. But I don't want to say it's, it's something that is, again, I'm not like, oh, hey, Jungle Cruise, it's great. You have to ride it. Like, this is one of the greatest attractions ever. It is the literal definition of just kind of middle of the road. Like, you can go on it. You can have a great experience. You can go on it and have an okay experience. But at the end of the day, it's good. I feel like you're going to come off and be like, okay, that was good.
So what, you have a C ticket?
So I have a C ticket.
And that's exactly where I have it. And I do think for me, it's even with Pirates of the Caribbean, so that makes it like pretty accurate.
Yeah, for me, it's lower. To me, I like Pirates better than Jungle
I
Cruise.
think the experience on the Jungle Cruise is actually better than Pirates of the Caribbean. I like the fact that it's variable. Like, you made the argument that it's variable, so it's not consistent. I like the fact that you're going to get on and you're going to have a slightly different skipper every time. Sometimes it's a little better, sometimes it's a little worse, but I like that. I think that it adds to the repeatability, because the skippers have like a basic script, but then they can always add or deduct things based on their preference. I just feel
like they don't do that enough. I feel like if they did it more, if they changed it more often, I feel like it would be better. I feel like it seems like a lot of people are just following the normal script now. You know what?
Actually, you love to do these like ride experiments. And by you love to do them, you've done them like one time. You did it with Spaceship Earth over in Epcot. I would love to do this with the Jungle Cruise. I would love to sit and ride the Jungle Cruise all day long. Okay,
I could get behind this now. See, now you've got me interested.
Yeah.
Typically, we go to Magic Kingdom, Jungle Cruise, we could skip it. What's the wait?
I want to be the expert on the Jungle Cruise.
It's not too bad. I'll go ride it. It's a little long. I don't need to ride it. I could skip it. But if you tell me we need to ride it all day and catalog the jokes,
the skippers.
No, the jokes everybody says.
What boats that we rode.
And how many times they're using the same joke versus inserting original jokes in there.
That would be so good. We'd have to like catalog all of the jokes and put tallies under each. Oh, this actually sounds fun.
Yeah. See, now I'm on board.
We should do a YouTube video about this.
Now I'm on board, and now this sounds like a lot of fun to me. So I can get behind this. This is not skippable. So Jungle Cruise, I think you can skip it if you're just gonna ride it once. If you're gonna ride it 30 times in a row in a day and catalog all the jokes all the skippers say, it's a can't miss. That's an e-ticket. That's an e-ticket in my book. I'm 100% behind this. So the last two are Swiss Family Treehouse and Magic Carpets of Aladdin. Already mentioned Magic Carpets of Aladdin. For me, I have as an A-ticket attraction. Swiss Family Treehouse, I have as A-ticket as well. I mean, this is like a pretty basic walkthrough. I think this is another one where like people could walk past it and not even know it exists because it's just kind of a big tree. It almost looks like theming in Adventureland. It doesn't even really look like much. And there's not really much in the way of attraction. It's kind of like you're just walking around this tree and like there's scenes of, hey, a family lives here, but like there's no animatronics of that family here. So
it's like a family that's been raptured off the earth and they just left it.
Yeah,
like they're just abandoned it.
They're just gone for the day. So for me, I mean, this is definitely like 100% skippable. Like this is in no way something that you have to do, or if you might even be saying like, I didn't even know that existed. Like, what are you talking about? The Swiss Family Treehouse, because you could easily walk past it. Guess what? If you don't know about it, you're not missing anything.
Yeah, I also have it as an A ticket. I think it's charming. I think it's fun to go like check it out every now and again. If it's a hot day, I do not like checking it out because you're climbing up and down stairs, your body's heating up. It is one of the shadier things though in Magic Kingdom. That is true. So
yeah, but there's a trade-off. You're gonna be hot climbing up the steps though.
Yeah, there's a lot of stairs, so you're gonna be hot. But if you take it slow, maybe you do this like you go get like a Dole Whip and then you slowly walk through the. I think that would actually move it up to a B ticket. But yeah, I think this is a solid A ticket.
All right. That's all of them on the tier list. Really quick, ranking them. So we have 30 attractions we went through here that include Enchanted Tales with Belle. So really quick, just going through our rankings, 30 to 1. And now for me, you're probably going to listen to this and go, hold on, Joe, you have C tickets above D tickets and etc. Yes, the tiering system kind of blends in here. But for me, starting at 30, no surprise here, Smelly Fence on Parade, because that is the most skippable attraction I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't know the amount of money Sensi paid, but it had to be a lot to get put on the map, listed as an attraction. I think this is one where money talks to get listed as an attraction at a theme park.
I don't even know that Scentsy is like a big company anymore. Like,
well, they must have paid
spend
some
all
money.
of their money at Walt Disney World?
Maybe that's why they don't
My
smell anymore.
mom used to have
maybe
one
that's
of
why
their wax burners.
Maybe it doesn't smell anymore because they ran out of money to refill it. They spent it all on the naming rights to this, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Skip. 100% skip. All right, so moving up the list here, have been Swiss Family Treehouse, Prince Charming's Regal Carousel, Mad Tea Party, Magic Carpets of Aladdin, Dumbo, and Astro Orbiter. So kind of, again, putting all those spinner attractions in a row with Astro Orbiters being the best. I have Tomorrowland Speedway above all of them, though. Then Mickey's PhilharMagic, Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Peter Pan's Flight, Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor, The Barnstormer, Jungle Cruise, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, and then at number 15, so halfway through the list here, is Journey of the Little Mermaid. So this is my top 15 at Magic Kingdom. Then I have Tiana's Bayou Adventure, then the Railroad, then the People Mover. So again,
wait, you have the Railroad above Tiana's?
I do. So again, this is where it's like in the tiering system.
This is wild.
Yeah, because again, when I try to think of the tickets, I try to look at it as like, okay, it was somewhat of my feeling on it, but also objectively of like, okay, how is this attraction in terms of like ride mechanics, story, that sort of thing. So that's why like I had the People Mover and the Railroad as B tickets. I have Tiana as a C ticket. But then when I'm ranking them, I'm like, okay, this is 100% like my order of what I would want to ride at the Magic Kingdom. And for me, I feel like I would rather ride the train or the People Mover over Tiana's. Not by much. I mean, they're all right there, but slightly I would put those ahead. Again, just because, one, I wasn't a huge fan of Princess and the Frog, and I feel like it doesn't even have the music and the characters that I would like from Princess and the Frog.
Again, as I said earlier, you don't have to justify your choices to us. We just know you're wrong.
Okay. All right, but then I go to Pirates of the Caribbean. Now, number 10, you're going to be very surprised I have this high, of Hall of Presidents as my 10th attraction on there. Again, I love the history of it. I don't know. I love Hall of Presidents.
It makes me feel not at all guilty, but guilty because we don't do this one very often.
That's true. Yeah, we don't get on it too often, but I do really enjoy it whenever I do it. All right, so now that is number 10. Number 9, I have It's a Small World. 8 is Country Bear Jamboree, so pretty high on the list there with the redo there. 7, I have Carousel of Progress. Love that. That is easily a solid top 10. 6, I have Mine Train. 5, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. 4 is Space Mountain. 3, I have Enchanted Tiki Room. So Tiki Room is top 3, then Haunted Mansion, then Tron. So yeah, for me, Tron is the best attraction at Magic Kingdom. Haunted Mansion's 2, Tiki Room's 3. If I go in and I ride those 3 attractions and then maybe do another 1 or 2 from this list, that's a good day. And that's kind of how I define it, of like, all right, what do I have to ride in order to have a great day? And if you're riding, those top 3 and another 1 or 2 from the top 10, for me, that's a great day.
Wow.
All right, so what's your list kind of quickly from 30 to 1?
All right. Well, again, these can change any given day. And I'm looking at my list now going, I don't agree with myself on the day that I made this. But my list goes 30, and then I'll just start listing from there. 30, Smelly Fence on Parade. So we agree there. Then Hall of Presidents, Carousel of Progress.
Hall of Presidents.
Oh,
and
yes.
then Carousel of Progress. Those are in my top 10, and those are in 29
and they're
28.
both below Swiss Family Treehouse.
Oh my gosh, that's just being mean.
No, it's not. It is true.
You're trying to hurt me at this point.
I'd rather walk through. Actually, I might even think that this is wrong. Tomorrowland Speedway is above Swiss Family Treehouse. I think I'd put that above the Swiss Family.
That makes sense.
Then Barnstormer, then the Railroad, Mickey's PhilharMagic, Journey of the Little Mermaid. 21 is Dumbo's, and then rounding out the top 20.
21 is Dumbo?
Yeah.
Above Carousel of Progress.
Oh, yes, easily.
My gosh.
20 is Astro Orbiter. Easily. All right, then we're going in our top 20. So that started with the Astro Orbiter. Then we have Mad Tea Party, Winnie the Pooh, Peter Pan, Monsters, Inc., Small World, Big Thunder, Magic Carpets of Aladdin.
You have Small World that low?
I do.
Interesting. The Magic Carpets of Aladdin is your favorite. It's that far ahead of Astro Orbiters and Dumbo. Even though they're basically the same ride?
Again, it's Walt Disney World. It's hot. I like the fact that there's
just
water.
Because you get sprayed with water.
Yep. Hey, listen. I'll take whatever moisture.
I'm gonna start getting like a water squirter, that you spray cats with when they're bad.
Can you get like the fan ones? We need to get those.
I'm gonna get a fan. But when we go on Carousel of Progress,
I'm gonna start bringing my ice bandana to Walt Disney World.
I'm gonna spray you with mist and spray you with water in Carousel of Progress, because then you'll be like, I love this attraction. I get cooled off in it.
Yep. No, it's already cooler.
If that's the only reason you like Magic Carpets of Aladdin, interesting. Okay.
Okay. Now I'm gonna change this a little bit. I have Pirates, and then
what do you have Pirates at? What number is that?
12.
Okay, I had that at 11.
I'm audibling it.
I had that at 11. We're pretty close.
I actually had it at 11, but
okay.
I'm changing it around a little bit. And then I have Mine Train, and then rounding out the top 10 is Jungle Cruise. So I think Jungle Cruise makes my top 10.
Okay.
Just barely. All right.
All right. So what are your top 10?
All right. So 9, People Mover. 8, Space Mountain.
Wow, People Mover at 9. Okay.
I do like this. It's relaxing. It's fun.
Okay.
You get a good view of the castle. You get to go through the behind the scenes of the rides. I like that ride. 7, Tiana's. 6, Enchanted Tales with Belle. That one really went because it wasn't even ranked. We hadn't even seen it up until recently.
I didn't include that in my listing here. Yeah,
so good. 5, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin.
Okay,
love that ride. So fun.
That's
4,
very high.
Country Bears.
Okay, wow, that's very high.
It is very high. I love that ride now. 3, 2, and 1 are the same as yours. Tiki Room, Haunted Mansion, Tron.
Where did you have Space Mountain?
Space Mountain I had as 8.
8. Wow. Okay.
And again, I think that depending on the day, I have Tiana's one above it. I don't know that that's truly above it for me.
Yeah.
So again, there's a lot of rides, and it's very hard to really truly rank them. So I feel like the general feel, my top ones are pretty solid, my bottom ones are pretty solid, but the ones in between are about where they should be.
Yeah, just kind of in there, but they can
shuffle around because it's just there's so many rides, it's very difficult.
Well, there you have it. Tron is the best attraction at Magic Kingdom, and let us know if you disagree. So let us know. I'm
sure there's a lot of people.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from our listeners where you would rank. What are your top attractions? Where do you disagree with our rankings? Let us know in the comments, or let us know on Instagram. We're at Enchanted Ears Podcast over there. But that wraps up the show for this week. I want to thank everybody again for listening. If you've not done so, please leave us a rating or a review. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. It really helps, and we really appreciate it.
Thanks for lending us your ears.
Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you here next Monday.
Bye-bye.